Hello, my name is Anne-Marie Rosario, and today I'm going to share with you something that I've learned this year. Learning something new. How to learn Spanish for the first time. First, you'll need to learn the basics, like how to say your name, know your alphabets, the numbers, times, and dates. Second, you'll need to learn how to introduce yourself. For example, ¿Cómo estás? How are you? Muy bien. I'm fine. ¿Y tú? And you? ¿Cómo se llama? My name is. Me llamo Ana Maria. My name is Anne Marie. Lastly, how to read and write the language. Learning Spanish for the first time. Today I'm going to talk about my experience this semester taking Spanish. First, I'm going to talk about the experience learning this language in the classroom. Learning the basics. For the first time being in a classroom with a professor who speaks Spanish, I was in a loop. I wasn't sure I was going to understand this language or even be able to speak it. There was the alphabets, numbers, times, and dates that was hard to learn. I had to learn to read, write, and even speak it. I learned to say my name, and I had to ask someone their name. All this was done in an oral presentation. After much practice, I was picking up the lingo. To my surprise, after just a few classes, I was able to speak some Spanish to my husband, and he was understanding me. Needless to say, I was using my new language around the house, and I was feeling proud about it until I was exposed to a new way how to change words around in a sentence that would make sense to other people who I'm speaking to. I again was lost for words. I was concerned to see how much this language barrier was going to be hard for me to learn, since I've only known one language, which is English. As a prerequisite for my degree, I had to take a language, so I chose Spanish. I chose Spanish because that is what is spoken in my home, since my husband is Hispanic. I enjoy the culture and the food, but I didn't know the language. So you can imagine when I'm in a room filled with my husband's family, everyone is speaking Spanish, and I am lost for words, and I'm uncomfortable. Now, when I'm with my family and friends, I try to understand what they're saying. I even dare myself to speak a few words. And it went out pretty well. Now you know my experience. I have learned a new language. I spoke about my first experience when I first learned the language. I also spoke to you about how I learned the language and how I used it around my family members. So when I think about how hard the language is to learn and how hard it is to adapt, I can only imagine in a few years how fluent I'll be able to speak it and understand what people are saying to me. I give you this quote to think about from 10 inspirational quotes for Language website. If you talk to a man that he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his own language, that goes to his heart. Thank you for sharing with me.